Were you worried
Let's start.
that people
Wait,
would
hold on.
think that
We're starting the interview, okay?
Oh, now
Okay.
I can't do that laptop.
Hold on. One sec. One. Yep, go on.
Ready.
And wait.
Action.
Look at that.
Didn't you do that in your video?
Oh, don't remind me. Don't
They
remind
told
me.
you to do something.
Don't remind me. Yeah. Actually, let's not say. Otherwise, people might figure out which one we're talking about.
No, it was a good video.
Anyway, cool. So you're interviewing me
Have we
because
started?
yeah, we've started. You're interviewing me because I thought, why not? You know, just like with this EP, Emancipation, it's sort of like I want to do whatever I want. You know, it's art.
So you've said.
No, I haven't said anything. We've started afresh.
Okay, fine. So why Emancipation?
Why Emancipation? Well, firstly, my first EP was Minds, and then this.
I didn't really understand why you chose the title Mind, so if you don't mind.
Minds over Mind. Okay, wait, Minds over Mind.
I don't know what that title meant.
Minds?
Yeah.
So Minds. See,
So
my
we
sister,
have to go back.
He's an
I saw
avid
Minds.
Love Ssega fan. She
No,
clearly knows my
I just wanted to
discography
go
of
along and think,
2 EPs,
okay,
11
yeah,
songs.
I know what that means.
Minds is one of the songs, the first song that came out.
I don't
and
know
it's
why you
in
chose
that song.
Minds.
It's because minds want to roam. Minds want to roam. Minds always
So-
want to roam.
People get distracted.
Yeah, minds always want to roam. Yeah, so in a
Really?
good, yeah.
Mine doesn't. My
Well,
mind.
You should work on it.
my mind
He's
doesn't
telling you
roam
no. No, you need
unless.
to. Okay,
there's
your mind
something-
doesn't. Okay, your mind doesn't
don't-
roam. Fair enough, but people have curiosity. You know, people are
That's
curious.
not a mind roaming.
It is roaming.
No,
It
it's
is
not.
roaming.
It's roaming
Yeah. If what?
you're
Go
on the
on.
phone.
If you're on the phone. This interview, people are going to get so much out of this.
So
Clearly.
this happens
This
when
is a complete
if
disaster.
you're supposed to be listening to a speech and then your mind roams and it goes
It's not just a
elsewhere.
speech, it's just when you're doing anything. So when you're going to work, you know, you look out the window.
Yeah.
When you look out the window, your mind is like roaming. You're not thinking about the journey to work. Minds want to roam. People's mind always goes from one thing to another.
Okay.
I mean, just look at this conversation. It was meant to be an interview, and we've already roamed from one topic to another. You're meant to be asking me about
Roaming.
Emancipation, my second EP. and
But I
you're
think
asking
it
me about
helps
Minds.
to
No, it
understand
does.
what the first one meant. If
True.
there's a relation. So first
There
of
is.
all,
So
the
first
minds
one's
were
Minds.
roaming.
Minds is the first one. And then the next one is Emancipation, and to get onto that, it's sort of like shorten Emancipation ! And
Oh,
it's,
there's an exclamation mark.
yeah, I gave you the physical CD. So if you look at that, then there's an
I was
exclamation
sauntering.
mark behind
It's
it.
because my mind was
So,
roaming.
okay, yeah, your mind was roaming and you didn't really see. Okay, I need to work on that. Okay, so Emancipation, it's sort of it's the idea behind emancipate yourself from mental slavery, which is a Bob Marley line. Just because
Which song?
isn't that freedom redemption song? Sorry, redemption song.
I don't know that
Emancipate
one.
yourself from mental slavery. Da, 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 da. Da, 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 da. Redemption song. Anyway, so emancipation is emancipate
So do
yourself
you-
from mental slavery, because I do feel now a lot of people feel like they can't do something, and it's actually themselves not trying to do something because they feel there's pressure. They
Yeah.
feel like, oh, okay, look, if I do this, I'll be embarrassed. If I do this,
Yeah.
it won't be a success.
Yeah.
And that's the pressure. So now, especially now, people going social media, this, that, and the other. But then people can do anything and get stuff out there, but then they feel like it's a failure if they don't get 100,000 views. And for me, I'm like, what does that actually mean? What does 100,000 views mean? What does 1 million views? What does 5 million views mean? Is that £5 million? No.
No, it's
Is
not.
that 5 million people that know your song?
5
Probably
million
not.
fans? I don't know
Or is it
about
5
that.
million people who
Wasted
may have
their
seen
time.
it for who wasted their time when it comes to yeah.
They're
Yeah,
not
so
all
when
wasted.
so when you look at that, so in a way we're putting our own mental condition might be putting more pressures on ourselves, whereas before, if you made a music video, let's say as an artist, you'd make it and it will go on MTV, and you just hope it go on MTV and you're happy. When you made a song, you go on radio and you think you'll be happy. Then you'll be happy. But then nowadays, you make a video, it goes on YouTube or Vivo or something, and then instead of being happy, you're worried because it's not getting number of views.
But
and then when it goes on a streaming thing, then you're worried because it doesn't get a number of plays. But then what was the difference from before when you didn't know the number around
Okay,
it?
fair enough, because people didn't know how many...
You didn't know how many people were listening to the show,
or
how many people were
those
listening.
videos.
Yeah, so then why is your art sort of changing in your process of making art? And especially if it's making your happiness, your level of happiness diminish, and that's not very good. So in that sense, that's why with this EP, it was like Emancipation, you know, I wanted to make an EP where I put the songs I like on there. I wanted to make it 8 songs. It could have been 3 songs. It could have been 5 songs. But again, who says how long an EP? Who like put these constraints on? And why do I feel the pressure, or why would someone feel the pressure to say, okay, EP shouldn't have 5 songs, that's too many, or you know, it shouldn't have 2 songs, that's too few. You know, it's one of those things where it's like, look, let me just do this just for fun, for the sake of the art, or
you
the
don't
sake
want
of the
to
music.
get stuck in that.
Let me do something and then see if it frees me from this
better.
own mental thing
Otherwise,
which I've got on myself.
you'll just procrastinate and just think, oh, how many?
So
you
then
get
otherwise,
stuck in that.
Yeah,
in
and
that
it's
zone.
a sort of.
So are you making a general statement, or is this a personal statement? We should emancipate
actually,
ourselves.
that's a good question. Is it a general statement or a personal statement? I think with a lot of my songs, they're personal statements, but then I think you can apply them generally. They're personal statements to me. Everything that I write, because I write all my lyrics, you know, and most of the music, so it's all personal. So that's, if I'm singing it, I have to have felt it. You know, it's not another songwriter.
But we all go through the same emotions at one point or another.
Yeah, so
people go through different situations and experience different things in their lives. Yeah,
so then it's general on the sense that it's personal to me, but I don't think I'm special in any type of way. So then that's when it becomes general. So, and then hopefully that's when people can listen to the thing and say, oh, do you know what? If I listen to Get Up, you know, I feel motivated to do something. You know, if it's hot electrolytes, you know,
coconut water.
You're not thinking about water. You can think about water, but it's about, you know, you should be passionate about. If you're passionate about something, then it's kind of like go and, you know, do it. You know?
You don't even think go and do it. You just do it.
But it's personal. The stuff has to be personal, because I think that's. I mean, that was a challenge for myself. I think main thing with Emancipation is you can always blame, oh, that's nice, oh, I'm going to blame a record label. Well, it's my own label, so I can do what I want. So you can always blame somebody else, but then sometimes it's got to start from you. You know, you've got to be the person to do it. I've got to be the person to put out the music.
And
I've got to write it,
become
I've
a
got to put it
slave.
out.
Going back to that theme of emancipation, if you're always blaming everyone else for everything, then it puts you in a very weak position.
Yeah, so if you blame other
just
people...
Just focus on what you can do now. It's not to say that other people might not be doing anything to stand in your way, but it's so much more helpful just to think, what can I do right now?
Yeah, I mean, that's a good point, just because, again, you do become a slave to the situation, a slave to the blame game. Yeah. But then that's why it's emancipate yourself. Yeah. From mental slavery, because then you've put that on yourself. Yeah. You know? And then that's when the creative process starts, because that's when you can solve problems and do this and that. And you know what? It's been so much fun doing this, just because I didn't expect it to get the reception. I didn't expect it to get the resonance. I didn't expect it to resonate with people as much as it has done. Yeah. And it just goes to show that when I thought back to it is, you know, I want to do something at a certain level, a certain standard, just musically and lyrically, just to push myself. Yeah. So I was setting these standards, and then it was kind of hindering me, and I forgot all the songs that I've had, which have been played on radio. I've made them outside of, let's say, an industry system. So I've just made them just for the sake of it, for the fun of it, or with the people that I was with. We were just having fun, and then sort of thinking, okay, look, this is what can kind of go into the song.
Yeah.
It wasn't with the expectation of this to go here, for this to chart, or for this to do well, or for that to do well. And then suddenly, as you get a bit more success, you then put these conditions on yourself, saying, okay, look, I need to match that, I need to do this, and then you try and force it. And that's what I found, you know, when I was trying to, you know, you try and force it, you try and look over here, and you think, oh, hold on a minute, you know, you can get distracted. Your mind can roam. Yeah, exactly. But yeah, firstly, this was a fun thing to do. So I want the music to have an element of fun, but also have, if people want to take a message from it, they can, and they can look at it. Just because I think there are messages that we do need to, like, you know, the artists I love, they were talking about something, you know, they were either talking about where they were coming from, the condition that they were in, or trying to get a bolder message across. So if you can try and put that in, and that's hard to do, but I do think the only way to do it is prove it through the art, you know. You've got to release stuff, and then let the public judge.
So numbers.
So numbers. So numbers. What do I think of?
But that's funny, because you say, show me the numbers. Look at the numbers.
I say, look at the numbers.
Yeah.
Oh, in what?
Numbers.
I say, look at the numbers. Numbers. So numbers, I think I'm intrigued. I'm sort of intrigued as to and am I guilty of this? So I listen to music as a fan. Some people say, oh, I never listen to any other music because I want it to be unique. Well, I think that's a bit of rubbish.
But who does that?
Some people say that.
I know fashion designers who say that, but I think it's quite different for fashion.
No, it's the same thing, because I think with fashion, it's the same thing. So that's sort of like your area of expertise. But in the same way, a fashion designer might say, I might not look at other clothes which are out there now, because I don't want to get influenced by that.
But that doesn't stop them from, well, they can wear their own clothes, or
but in the same way, it's sort of like,
they don't want to sit there and start looking for 10 minutes at last season's clothes by their rival designer. I understand that.
That's the thing.
But they're not going to shut themselves off from all the fashion completely.
Precisely. But I think some people, to try and, I don't know.
And a lot of them
I think some people, maybe to try and make themselves look like they're just a crazed genius who can work in a vacuum and has made everything themselves. Nas is my favorite rapper, and he's got the song No Ideas, in a song he raps, no ideas original, there's nothing new under the sun.
Yeah.
So yeah, but I agree with that. I don't think I'm doing anything 100% original, but it's just different, because I might have had influences here which I talk about, and then you iterate, you take that all in a melting pot, and then your iteration is different, and then your delivery is different. If you've got personality or character or a voice, then it's going to be different. So so back to the point, I listen to other music, and I go on different streaming things or I go online and see things. But then I also judge things by the numbers? Like, if I see a song with 1 million views, do I think that's better than one with 1,000 views, you know? Or do I bother clicking on links where it's like, oh, this page has been read loads of times, it pops up on The Guardian or whatever, or The Times, or whatever newspaper that you read, and it's the top 10 stories? Do I then put more weight onto that? So in which case, are we actually going for different views, or are we just all listening to the same type of music? Are we all listening to the same watching the same videos? Are we all reading the same articles?
No, we're not. So, and I think there needs to be more diversity. Yeah,
so, but then it's a problem when you have, in a way it's strange, because it's sort of like, are we, in general, in music industry, people who make the music, and people consuming the music, are we kind of moving towards a Premier League of football model, where it's like a league table, where it's sport? Usain Bolt wins the gold medal because he's the fastest runner.
So
that's an absolute
in musical
scale.
terms.
But in musical terms, are we just awarding gold medals to certain type of music, and then other music, it doesn't even exist, it doesn't even deserve to make the Olympics, or it doesn't deserve to exist?
What would be the Olympics in this
I don't know.
case?
I guess in this case, it'll be like the charts. So if it doesn't chart or whatever, then, well, we're not hearing from you again. Game over.
As in, you wouldn't.
You're not getting a platform.
You're not
going on the radio again. We gave you a chance. You didn't even make the qualifying rounds.
No,
and as
the
for you,
problem
you did a full start
with
there.
that is that the people, say if you have 10,000 fans, those 10,000 fans are still fans. And if their person...
That's a good point. Yeah, so if you've only got 10...
Then it's a small market when you compare it to 10 million fans, but they're still fans.
So yeah, so 10,000, that's still a market compared to 10 million. That's the interesting thing. That's why with numbers, I do find this an interesting point. Because
and you can still do something. You might say, because there are just this artist just has 10,000 fans, we're not going to spend 10 million on this video. I can understand that. But you can still produce something on a shoestring to satisfy those fans who do exist and who will pay money for the records. They'll pay money to see them on tour for their gigs.
So that's the thing which is interesting, just because obviously before now you can get information from and statistics online you can monitor anything, statistics from
clicks,
views, clicks,
that.
and this and that and the other. So some people are like, oh, we can be scientific about these numbers.
Okay, so we can use these numbers to then predict what sort of thing
we can use these numbers. Yeah, we can use these numbers scientifically or something like that. And that would be good if you had a reason what you're trying to find. If you're, it would be good if you're trying to prove a case.
Like a number one.
Well, maybe it's a number, but then again, it's the question is, what are we going for? Are we going for the fastest? Are you trying to get the fastest? Like in 100 meters, if someone's running, it's like, I want to get the fastest time. So in music, what do we want? Do we want a song which is heard by the most number of people? That's what a number of listening rate will tell you. It will tell you that. But then you ask yourself, if a billion people hear something and it's not very good, then have you achieved your goal? Or if 2 people hear it and then get an emotional connection from it, is that better than a billion people who just happen to have clicked it when they're bored? So again, the numbers don't tell you. The numbers don't tell you this. And for people who are saying, "Oh, we've got statistics, we can be data driven and stuff like that," I'd love to. I spent 4 years in science doing data analysis and statistics and that level, and people just because they've looked at boring.
No, I'm joking. I'm sure.
It had anyway. Oh,
sorry.
There you go. But then again, it's sort of like I'd love to see if you've got statistics and stuff. It's kind of a complicated subject, and you have to kind of go through numbers carefully and say what you're actually looking for and how you prove it, and then give an margin of error around it.
What are you looking for?
All these other things. But then someone who's just managed to get some numbers off the back of a streaming platform and then says, oh, okay, I can tell you about the music industry or how this artist is doing, then I'm a bit skeptical there, if I'm completely honest. Because there's a book, How You Can Lie with Statistics, or How to Lie with Statistics.
Oh, I've heard of that book.
Yeah, you can use any statistic to prove a prove a point, but then
you need to.
It doesn't necessarily mean it's going to help you in whatever you're trying to achieve. But then this is the problem, just because if people aren't having nuanced conversations, so
you mentioned
aren't having
the emotional connection.
Yeah, the emotional connection. How do you get that from a number?
No, you
and
don't
also
get
some of
that
these
from
numbers,
a number.
some of these numbers are.
What has that led to? I listened to this song, and then it inspired me to do that. It lifted my mood.
Yeah, the question
and
is,
all those things, you don't get those things from just you can't find those things out from just looking at some numbers, some statistics.
You can't.
So
that's that.